Good morning, all. I hope all is well. I've had a couple of subscribers who have requested me do stories on a couple of older cases. The one is the Kyron Hormon case, which goes all the way back to 2010. I remember when this happened, but as far as, recently, I do not know much about the case, so I'm actually taking this article and reading it to you just literally to try to get his story, his picture, his information out there once again, trying to keep it out in the public so that we all can, keep these kids in our minds, in our hearts, in our prayers. And so here you go, guys. And I hope you watch till the end. Don't forget to share, because the more these children's faces get out there and their stories, the more likely chance that somebody might know something, somebody might come forward, somebody might come and tell, the truth of what happened. There's, even miracles happen, guys, just like with the lady right back before Thanksgiving, 50 something years, and they found her. So there's always hope until there's no hope. So watch, and I hope you get something out of it. Thanks, guys. The story of Kyron Hormon, the 7-year-old whose disappearance spawned the largest manhunt in Oregon history, by Aaron Kelly. After being dropped off at school by his stepmother early one morning in June 2010, Kyron Hormon vanished and has never been seen or heard from again. Shortly after 8 a.m. on Friday, June 4th, 2010, 7-year-old second grader Kyron Hormon arrived at Portland's Skyland Elementary School. It was the day of the science fair, and he was setting up his project with the help of his stepmother. Though a fellow student reported seeing him at 9 a.m. near the school's south entrance, Hormon did not report to any class that day, nor did he board the bus later to come home. In fact, he has never been seen by anyone since. This is the disturbing true story behind the disappearance of Kyron Hormon. Kyron Hormon's last day and the conflicting accounts of his disappearance. The last photo taken of Kyron Hormon by his stepmother, Terry Moulton, on June 4th, 2010. Ironically, Kyron Hormon had a keen interest in forensic science. On the day he disappeared, he was wearing a CSI t-shirt bearing the logo from the crime procedural show. It was Hormon's stepmother, Terry Moulton, who was the last family member to see the boy alive as he walked down the school's hallway to a class that Friday morning. But she failed a polygraph test on the day's events twice, and she has since divorced Hormon's father and has been named a suspect by court documents and her own lawyers. Perhaps the most non-biased sequence of events on Hormon's last day came from a detailed timeline, courtesy of the Oregonian, which actually put Moulton at two different grocery stores until 10:10 that morning. However, between then and 11:39 a.m., the stepmother has no alibi. She claims she was driving rural roads with her infant daughter, Kyra, trying to soothe her ear infection before checking into a 24-hour fitness about 11 miles away at 11:39 a.m., where she stayed for an hour. Then at 1:21 p.m., Moulton claimed to have arrived home, logged into Facebook, and posted photos of Horman at school with his science project from that morning. Then Kyron Horman's father, Kane, joined Moulton to meet the school bus at 3:30 p.m., but Horman did not get off. When they drove to the school and found out that Horman had been marked absent all day, they had the secretary call 911. And so began the largest missing person search in Oregon history to date. Suspects emerged within Horman's own family. Kyron's family from Wright: stepfather Tony Young, mother Desiree Young, father Kane Horman, and the stepmother Terry Moulton. At the heart of the search for Kyron Horman is the relationship between his parents and stepmother. His biological parents, Kane Horman and Desiree Young, divorced when the boy was small, and the two shared custody until Desiree became severely ill with kidney problems. She was forced to move back in with her parents and give full-time custody of Horman to Kane until she fully recovered. Kane then married Terry Moulton, with whom he had a daughter, Kyra. But things apparently were not going too well in the marriage, according to emails that Moulton sent to her friends. After police showed her these messages, Young said the emails revealed that Moulton had a severe hatred for Kyron. She blames a lot of the marital problems between Kane and herself on Kyron. It was a huge point of contention in their marriage, and she had expressed in great detail her hatred for Kyron. Young said, I now believe without a shadow of a doubt that not only is she capable of hurting Kyron, that it's clear she could have hurt him in the worst possible way. Initially, there was no real interest in Moulton as a suspect in Kyron Horman's disappearance. Sources indicated that there was a probability of deception. During her first polygraph and gaps in the timeline she gave for the day, Horman vanished. Yet none of these details amounted to anything more than suspicion until about a month into the investigation when a bombshell was dropped. Updates on the Kyron Horman case, an age-progressed photo of Kyron Horman today. He may or may not wear glasses if he's still alive. For 10 days, Horman's case was considered a missing persons one. But then investigators announced it was officially a criminal investigation. In July 2010, a local landscaper who Moulton previously hired showed up at the police station, and he told authorities that about 6 months prior to Horman's disappearance, Moulton Horman offered him money to kill her husband. Detectives shared the landscaper's account with Kane, and he left the house on June 26 with the couple's 19-month-old daughter. He promptly hired a family law attorney and filed divorce papers and a restraining order against Moulton. Unfortunately, police have no other suspects, and there are little to no updates on Kyron Horman's case today. They found no clues. They found nothing. Horman's father told KPIC News in 2015, all the searches to date that I know of, both private and by the sheriff's office or the search and rescue teams, there's been no piece of evidence forensically linked to our case. So they found nothing. So he's not around here. So the question is, where is he? To this day, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Department is still actively seeking any and all leads in the case, but without a breakthrough. The authorities are still no closer to solving Kyron Horman's eerie disappearance, even after more than a decade. Well, there's the story on the Kyron Horman case, and it's showing, what he looked like when he disappeared, the age-progressed picture of what he possibly looks like now, and it also says, do not hesitate. Anyone having any information should call 911 or call 1-800-843-5678. Also is 1-800-THE-LOST. Multnomah County Sheriff's Office in Oregon, you call 1-503-823-3333 or 1-503-261-2847. That's the tip line. Please share this video. Get his picture, his story out there again. I know there's a lot of us that heard about the case when it happened. There's a lot of us that have known about the case over the years, but we need to get his story and his picture circulating out there again so that hopefully some new leads from somewhere, somebody that might know something, may come forward. And God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.